13 News at 5 begins with breaking news out of Columbus, Ohio.
That's where the FBI searched a home where Tyler Thomas stayed while Haley Busby was missing. This is the first time they have searched this location since Busby's remains were found.
The Fishers teen was reported missing January 6th. According to a federal criminal complaint, Thomas drove to Indiana the day before and picked her up. He's been charged in federal court with child sex crimes. You know, this case has just been so frightening, and it has renewed conversations about online safety.
Police say Tyler Thomas admitted to meeting Busby through online games like Roblox and League of Legends while talking with her on the app's Discord and session.
Now, one local high school is taking action. Our Logan Gay live at Hamilton Southeastern tonight, where an online safety meeting for parents is set to begin in less than an hour. Logan?
Hey, Des and Felicia, this meeting was actually planned before Haley's death, but with the growing concern about online safety for children, they decided to open up to all parents, including those outside of the district. This meeting will identify ways parents can talk to their children about what's going on online, also ways to watch for what your child is doing. We're also talking about specific cases. The speaker is a former U.S. prosecutor, and she will explain real-life examples to give parents a better idea of what they're facing. HSC's mental health and school counselor talked to us today about how important this conversation is tonight.
Obviously, social media, technology, the internet is prevalent for every family, and it is a topic that's happening around every dinner table. It's kind of how do we navigate this new world that we're living in? Kids have access to so much information, often more information than their brains are able to process at their developmental level.
It's important to know that this meeting is only for adults. No children are allowed in this meeting because of the sensitive nature that they'll be discussing tonight. Again, it'll start at 6 and go to 7:30 here at the HSC auditorium. Dustin, Felicia, back to you.
All right, Logan, thank you. And a similar event is going on tonight in Brownsburg as well.
Yeah, this is a conversation that's happening in a lot of people's homes and communities. So Susie's Place child advocacy centers are going to share insights and tips for parents about navigating these online platforms, and they'll talk about this at the meeting that's taking place tonight at Brownsburg High School.
Our Ella Rhodes spoke with Susie's Place about the presentation today. She joins us now. You know, so many parents want to know what more can we do. So what'd you learn?
Of course. Thanks, Dustin and Felicia. So Brownsburg Community School Corporation actually planned this event months ago, back in September, well before what happened with Haley Busby. And it comes at quite a critical time, as you saw Logan earlier as well. So Susie's Place is a Indiana nonprofit that focuses on prevention and justice and healing for children who are victims of abuse. The presentation tonight, Online Predators, What Parents Need to Know, will discuss basic online safety strategies on how to approach this topic with children and teens, the impact of AI, sextortion, and various popular apps that predators use to target children. John Graham, who is doing the presentation tonight at Brownsburg, says technology is constantly changing, which adds more complexity to this issue.
Technology is evolving so fast that we as parents, we struggle sometimes to keep up. So you have to kind of keep up with the latest trends and understand how they're affecting your child.
Graham says they will do another similar presentation in Plainfield in April, but the information will be slightly different to make sure it has the most up-to-date information and stats. And then ahead at 6, you'll also hear from an IU cybersecurity professor with additional tips and information to navigate these kinds of threats, since it's just evolving and quite deep.
Yes, and there's kind of a digital divide that's happening with parents. They're not, and you know, of course, everyone's working, lives are moving fast. They're not always as aware of what technology can do, and that the fact that children know how to manipulate it. It's a very uncomfortable situation.
Yeah, but a conversation that, as I spoke with the head of the state police yesterday, he said it's a conversation every parent has to have with their children.
And be able to lean into it, particularly at a moment like this.
Of course.
Ella Rhodes, thank you so much. We did note that we have a special regarding Haley Busby coming up Friday at 8 p.m.
We have the latest on the investigation, the impact this is having on the larger community. 8 o'clock on WTHR Plus Friday night.
Friday.
Yep. Ella, thank you.
Thank you.
And we continue this evening, with another top story we've been on top of. A judge who was shot in his home alongside his wife returned to the courtroom for the first time this week. This is video that you're seeing from the Tippecanoe Bar Association. And Judge Stephen Meyer administered the oath of office for Judge Kevin McDaniel, who was sworn in today. The ceremony marks Judge Meyer's first return to the courthouse since this shooting. And then another judge is managing cases in his court while Judge Meyer and his wife recover. 6 people are under arrest in connection to the shooting. Yeah,
that happening yesterday. Good to see the judge back in the courtroom there. Today, we learned the name of a man killed in a hit and run on the west side yesterday. Police say 45-year-old Anthony Thomas was found in the street along Rockville Road near Bridgeport Road, busy area. Investigators are asking anybody with information to call them immediately. Help them out.
Well, tonight, 6 people are in the hospital after a suspected mass overdose in downtown Indianapolis.
It happened just before 10 this morning near the Julia Carson Transit Center for the second time in about a year. Ashton Hackman explains what we know so far.
Around 10 Wednesday morning, an off-duty officer found several unresponsive people near the transit center. Medics found 6, all with similar symptoms in 2 different areas, all taken to area hospitals. 3 of them in critical condition, 3 were stable. IMPD tells us no drugs were recovered at the scene. It was the second mass overdose in Indianapolis in less than a year. In March, 6 people overdosed in nearly the same spot.
It's kind of heartbreaking, you know.
Anthony Ventura is in the area it happened almost every day. That's because he's walked a similar journey as those who overdosed.
I used to be homeless myself, so when I got myself better and got myself together, I wanted to reach back out and just help people that were still in need.
Now he's focused on connection and supporting those whose shoes he once wore, launching Big Homie Foundation 2 years ago, bringing food, clothes, and help, he says, every Sunday to the intersection of Washington and Alabama. I
just try to be there for people, you know, however that is. Some people don't even eat. Some people just come down there because they know I'm coming and they know it's a good vibe. They know my ears are always open to them, and I have a shoulder they can cry on if they need.
He says the solutions to steer people away from drugs and turning lives around won't come from City Hall.
I'm not really looking for them to do it. You know, I need the normal everyday people like me and you to get behind this and take care of it. You know, they're in them big buildings up there looking down. They can see what's going on. You know, this is nothing that can be solved behind a desk.
Spokespeople for Mayor Hogsett and Indigo referred me to IMPD for questions. IMPD said the investigation remains ongoing. In Indianapolis, Ashton Hackman, 13 News.
All right, an inspiring story there. Thank you. Ahead, a multi-billion-dollar investment, the giant tech company that just broke ground on a new data center campus here in central Indiana.
It's been a year and a half of my life trying to do everything I could to make this as nice as possible.
A historic landmark in Plainfield damaged by fire. We talked with the owner about his next steps.
And art on ice. We are breaking down the complexity of one of the most athletic sports at this year's Winter Games.
We heard it called ice dancing today.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We are cooler as expected today. Tomorrow, very similar with highs in the low 40s, but I am tracking another warm-up.